Hello everyone, my name is Phawx. Today I'll be reviewing the latest XREAL Air 2 glasses. Thank you very much to XREAL for sending out the Air 2 and the Air 2 Pros to me. Previously the brand was known as Nreal, but quickly pivoted to the new branding now known as XREAL. Also, before we proceed, a quick disclaimer for me. While I received these glasses for review purposes, none of this review is paid for, meaning that all of my opinions in this review video are my own and nothing has been omitted or changed. Let's continue. The Air 2 glasses come with some noticeable upgrades over the original Air. Despite the color differences, all non-Pro models are priced the same and carry the same features. Considering the non-Pro models cost $400 and the Pro model costs $450, what's the $50 difference? Well, the Pro models boast an additional feature that had been available on other glasses like the Feature 1s, where you can optionally dim the glasses via an electrochromic function. Considering that all of the glasses include a light guard, and my own feelings that these glasses have limited use, I'm not certain this feature is worth the $50. Apart from that, the glasses support 120Hz refresh rate, whereas the prior Air 1 models needed a firmware update to support that new refresh rate. Typically, the only devices that are going to be able to drive this directly would be the latest 7840U handheld, and exclusively making use of FSR3 to boost frame rates, albeit for newer modern games. But it must be said that even if you're thinking about hitting 120Hz on older games, that doesn't come free. The difference between running at 60Hz versus 120Hz on old PC games is burning through 4 extra watts. Effectively, we need to spend 50% more total power going from 60Hz to 120Hz. And you may be saying, who cares? That's only 4 watts. But in this context, when playing this game at 60 FPS, with these glasses, we'd be looking at around 5 hours of battery life. But pushing this game to 120 FPS means we're now looking at around 3 hours of playtime. That's a 2-hour reduction. Naturally, this doesn't mean you'll always have to run games at 120 FPS, but you should still be mindful of what that entails. Outside of that, you'd need to use an additional accessory called the beam to connect via HDMI, but we'll touch on that more later. Back to the glasses themselves. They're also slightly lighter than their predecessors and offer a brighter screen. One thing XREAL says is that these new Sony displays use less power, and in my testing, that is correct. We're looking at a pretty decent reduction. For all intents and purposes, when pushing the Air 2s to their max brightness, you should expect it to drain an additional 1.2 watts from whatever device it directly plugs into. Lastly, they feature advanced audio quality, specifically directional audio that reduces sound leakage. Again, this is something the Feature 1 glasses also did well, and also, again, from my point of view, it is a big bonus, only because, well, generally speaking, these types of glasses excel at being a personal home theater system. To my core, I don't see anyone using these types of XR glasses in mixed reality use cases like what Apple is trying to do. I'd also argue that the Quest 3 does a far better job of doing mixed reality, which is where I want to anchor my reasoning here. These glasses are awesome if you want to isolate yourself from everyone around you, or you want to have a fantastic experience without concerning yourself for intruding on someone else's space, like on a bus or a plane or a train, or just in a quiet public environment. For now, let's unpack these glasses. Inside the box, you'll find the glasses, a lens add-on that can accommodate your prescription, and what XREAL calls the zero-pressure nosepad. The glasses come in a durable hard-shell case, differing from the earlier zipper design. The included cable is braided and about 4 feet long, ideal for connecting to handheld devices and having just enough slack while not being too long. Design-wise, personally, I've always appreciated the look of the XREAL glasses, insofar as them adopting traditionally stylish sunglasses as much as possible. You don't look too out of place while wearing them. The glasses have speakers designed to channel sound directly into your ears, and the connection port is on the left side. One of the things I liked about this particular design is how the USB-C cable was made to bend and seamlessly blend with the rest of the frame of the glasses. Inside, there's a sensor detecting if the glasses are worn, and 2 of the new Sony Micro-OLED projectors displaying a 1080p resolution. You can change the viewing angle while tweaking the arms, offering 3 distinct settings. This is what you'll need to do to adjust the image for your eyes. So if it's a bit blurry for you, this is where you'll make the limited amount of changes to accommodate the glasses for yourself. When it comes to the unboxing experience, it remains consistent across all the models. Even the Pro model, largely similar in design, but boasting the Electrochromic Dimming functionality. From the front, the glasses look conventional. They're lightweight, and with the included nose guards, I didn't have any particular discomfort when using them for long periods of time. My longest stint wearing them was only 2 hours though, which I would personally consider a normal use case because these glasses do not have a battery on them, and as such, will be vampiric in nature. Anticipate these glasses to consume power from whatever device you're connecting them to directly. Again, As I said previously, at max brightness, they consume around 1.2 watts. At lowest brightness, it's like 0.3 watts. And then naturally, if you're using the beam accessory, that has its own built-in battery to power the Air 2s. Speaking about the covers provided, they have been updated to increase the area where they block light. It's a small amount, and you can still see most things around you, but every little bit helps. This greatly increases visibility in bright settings, where the Air 2 Pro's electrochromic dimming feature offers a similar benefit without the need for the covers. This feature has 3 levels ranging from transparent to a full blackout effect, diminishing the need for the included covers. For my money and use case, I would just get the non-Pro models, to be quite honest, and just leave the covers on at all times. It's easy enough to just put down the Steam Deck and lift the glasses up to see what's in front of you if you need, but it's a genuine convenience to have the dimming functionality built into the glasses, so that's going to be for you to decide. A recurring thing for me, if you've been following my channel for a while, is that you know I am a function over form kind of guy. Perhaps to a fault. Does having the covers on all the time make them look worse? Yes. Do I care? No. Again, even though XREAL might have fantasies of people doing Ready Player One stuff with these glasses, I don't see it. For me, this is for the person who has a family that always occupies the main TV, or when laying down with your spouse, and your spouse hates when you watch Rick and Morty late at night. The light guard at the bottom, while functional, still doesn't provide the full light blockage you need. However, if you're going to be wearing these on a bus, a plane, or a train, it is convenient to have some semblance of seeing your surroundings. So quite literally, the only reason you'd pony up the extra $50 for the Pro model is because you may think you'd be using these for travel more and want a quicker way to engage and disengage your surroundings. Comparing the Air 2s to other glasses like the Vitra 1s or even the original Air 1, if you own any of those glasses already, you can comfortably pass on these. Capturing the true essence of the display quality through a camera lens is exceedingly challenging. So you have to believe me when I say, while the Air 2s have Sony's latest micro-OLEDs and XREAL claims that brightness has increased 25% from 400 nits to 500 nits, the reality is that the quality of the displays isn't generationally better than previous models. This is a refinement on previous models. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting and were interested, naturally I'd say the XREAL Air 2s should 100% be in your list of candidates to choose from. Quite literally, the one feature that could entice you would be the electrochromic dimming function, but again, if you have the Vitra 1s, you already have that as well. Also, it's not to say that the XREAL Air 2s aren't awesome. They are. They just have a very narrow use case of where they fit into your lifestyle. At $400 for the non-Pro models, you're within spitting distance of the Meta Quest 3. Now, to be very clear, the Quest 3 and the Air 2s are vastly different. The Air 2's ability to connect to your phone or Steam Deck or ROG Ally mean you have an easier way of enhancing those experiences, making them better and private without annoying those around you. It just becomes a bit hard to recommend something that costs $400 when its biggest selling points are better ergonomics and better privacy. Yes, the displays and sound are fantastic on the XREAL Air 2s, but you really have to consider why you want these glasses in the first place. One last thing we have to cover in this video is the XREAL Beam. Briefly, the Beam is very intuitive to use. There's the click wheel design, so this is how you navigate. The center button is select. The button on the bottom is the back button. The orange button cycles through the different display modes through the Beam interface itself. And then there is a little power button that's hidden along the top. And that's pretty much it. But let's first talk about the XREAL Air 2's inability to directly pair with whatever device you're trying to connect to, like a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, or even the Nintendo Switch. For all intents and purposes, if you wanted to connect any HDMI device to the Air 2s, that requires the Beam as well as the USB-C to HDMI connector that XREAL sells. Remember that the XREAL Airs have no power source, and HDMI itself has no means of giving power. Well, unless it's an HDMI MHL port, but none of the consoles have this. So the Beam powers the Air 2s while also bridging the AV signal. This generally means you have a big noodle of wires just so you can use the Air 2s on these devices. And truthfully, the only convenient console to use in this manner is the Nintendo Switch, which has the problem of believing it's docked when in use, so you need to disconnect the Joy-Cons or use another controller. Additionally, because the Beam doesn't have HDMI directly on it, it means you 100% have to have the Beam fully charged before using it on any HDMI device. That's actually super lame because you will 100% have a time limit to use devices that are not battery powered. One side feature of the Beam is to act as a simple battery pack for the Airs so that you're not vampirically sapping power from a Steam Deck or an ROG Ally, which for the price, I'm not sure that's super worth it from that angle alone. For iPhones, you'll also need an Apple Lightning Digital AV adapter, or for devices that have AirPlay, Miracast, or DLNA, you can cast wirelessly using the beam. Google Pixel devices do not work with this setup, so be mindful of that. The only other feature on the XREAL beam is managing how you can see the virtual screens. First is the air casting way, which is very straightforward and the screen is always in front of your eyes. This is how the Air 2s operate without the beam connected. Next is the body anchor function, which anchors the screen spatially in front of you. This is where XREAL starts getting into the mixed reality use case. The third option is something XREAL calls smooth follow, and that's like air casting version, but delayed a bit. This mode is supposed to be better when you're on a moving vehicle. Last is the side view or the picture-in-picture type of mode. This particular mode doesn't make much sense to me personally, as I can't really imagine using the Air 2s while doing other things. But that's just me. The XREAL Air 2s are awesome. If you're venturing into XR glasses for the first time, or you've just been looking at the market, the Air 2 presents a compelling case. It melds design and functionality seamlessly, making it a worthy contender in the XR glasses market. For me personally, again, there is a very narrow use case where these XR glasses actually make sense. I would very much recommend you really think out how you'd use these types of glasses in your day-to-day routine. Do you find yourself not being able to enjoy a game or a movie or a TV show because of your current surroundings? If yes, then the $400 asking price makes sense because it's giving you that time to do it. If you were thinking these were going to be some type of magical mixed reality use case, the Quest 3 is already far better. If you have most Android phones outside of the Pixel series, these can work simply with a single USB-C cable as well. I hope this video is informative. As always, guys, thank you for your time, and thanks for watching.